The new generation Mitsubishi Triton, launched in South Africa fairly recently, builds on the reputation of the previous models and adds a lot to it and makes a lot of differences and a lot of changes. You can see styling changes that have been made, taking away a bit of the rounded effect on the rear doors, which was a feature of the previous version. But this is a big, rough, tough, butch vehicle in all ways. And the one we have on test here being the double cab 4x4 manual version. The 2.4 litre diesel engine, turbo diesel, puts out 133 kilowatts, 430 newton meters of torque. So it's certainly got power. It's been upgraded, and it's certainly got all the power that you can want, all the pulling power that you can want, and most of the luxury that you'd want as well from a vehicle of this sort. You can see it's big. It takes a 1-ton payload. So it's got all these features and all these things that definitely the bucky buyer and the double cab buyer wants out of their vehicle these days. Let's take a look at the inside of the vehicle. Stepping inside the Mitsubishi Triton, you'll see that in the vein of double cab buckies these days, it's almost like a luxury car in the interior. You've got most of the features that you'd want. You've got full leather upholstery. Another feature that I'm particularly impressed about is the space in the rear seat, the legroom that's created in the back of the Triton. In the old days, one of the failings of double cab buckies was lack of legroom in the back. They've certainly addressed that. You've got a nice large-sized infotainment screen in the center here. I've got to comment that I think a lack on this is the fact that there's no navigation feature on this particular vehicle, and I think really it could be there. 6-speed manual gearbox. If I'm buying and I'm putting down my money, quite honestly, I would go with the automatic version. I would not take the manual for myself. It's obviously got to be a fairly heavy vehicle to drive in manual form. The gearbox, the clutch, everything is that much heavier because it is a big and tough vehicle. So I would go for the ease, comfort of an automatic version. You come down over here and you've got the shift for the 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high, and of course your low range. Very simple. Turn the knob and it simply changes which function and which feature you're using on the vehicle. As easy as that. Nice and simple, nice and easy to use. You've even got a rear diff lock, which is a press of a button on the center console over here. Press that button and you get rear diff lock. You've got, as I mentioned just now, so many car-like features. You've got the multifunction steering wheel as well. So they're all there, all make your life pretty simple and pretty easy to live with and drive. As for the ride and the drive on the road, well, it is a double cab bucky. It takes a ton, so it's a little bit bouncy on the road, but that is something that all double cab buckies have the same affliction, shall I call it, and it's not obviously the same as a luxury car in that respect, and that's the only area where it possibly falls down on as opposed to a luxury car, but it's got all those features. The Triton comes standard with 2 airbags and a 5-year 90,000 kilometer service plan. The 2 airbags may be a touch behind the market in that respect and that feature, but that's something again that you take a look at. Final point, of course, is price. This manual version with 4x4 as it stands as we are in right now, 539,900 Rand. You would add 20,000 for the automatic gearbox, which is a 5-speed automatic. I've mentioned before, personally, I would spend the extra money and take that automatic gearbox. It obviously is slap bang in the middle of the range, for example, between the 2.2 and 3.2 litre Ford Rangers, but then the power, the outputs, everything falls slap in the middle as well. So it's a very interesting comparison. You, of course, have the Hiluxes, the new Nissan Navara, the Isuzu KBs. There's so much competition, but the Colt has had and always had a reputation for toughness, for comfort, for luxury, for even a bit more style than most of its opposition. So it's a choice only you as the buyer can make. For Motor Matters, I'm Alan R, and I'll see you next time.